Alright, so let's talk about the 2026 Toyota 4Runner, because if you're even remotely into SUVs, off-roading, or just vehicles that refuse to quit, this one is kind of a big deal. The 4Runner has always been that rugged, no-nonsense SUV that doesn't care about trends. It's never tried to be flashy, never chased luxury for the sake of it, and that's exactly why people love it. But for 2026, Toyota is finally giving it a serious glow-up while still keeping that tough, trail-ready personality intact. The first thing you notice is the design. This new 4Runner looks tougher and more modern without losing its classic boxy vibe. It still has that squared-off shape that screams I can climb over things, but everything feels sharper and more intentional. The front end looks bolder, with a wider stance and more aggressive lighting. It feels like Toyota took the old 4Runner, sent it to the gym, and gave it a better tailor. It's not trying to look futuristic or overly sleek. It still looks like a truck, and that's a good thing. From the side, it's instantly recognizable as a 4Runner, but the proportions feel more balanced. The wheels fill out the arches better, and depending on the trim, you get some really rugged-looking options that make it clear this thing is meant to leave pavement behind. Around back, the design is cleaner, more refined, but still purposeful. It's a nice evolution rather than a total reinvention. Now let's talk about what's under the hood, because this is where things get really interesting. Toyota is leaning hard into hybrid power for the 4Runner, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense. The hybrid setup isn't about turning the 4Runner into some eco-only grocery getter. It's about adding more usable power, smoother delivery, and better efficiency without sacrificing capability. The hybrid system gives the 4Runner stronger low-end pull, which is exactly what you want when you're crawling over rocks, towing, or powering through rough terrain. It feels more responsive than the old setup, and the added torque makes everyday driving easier too. Merging onto highways, passing slower traffic, or climbing steep grades all feel more confident. And the best part is that Toyota didn't abandon reliability to do it. If there's one thing Toyota hybrids are known for, it's durability. This isn't some experimental setup, it's a refined system built to last. For longtime 4Runner fans who are nervous about change, this should be reassuring. Off-road capability is still at the heart of the 4Runner, and Toyota made sure of that. This thing is still built to go places most SUVs wouldn't even attempt. Depending on the trim, you get features designed specifically for dirt, sand, mud, snow, you name it. The suspension has been updated to handle rough terrain better, while still being more comfortable on the road. That's a big win, especially if you daily drive your 4Runner during the week and hit the trails on the weekend. There are off-road focused trims that really lean into the adventure side, with tougher tires, extra protection underneath, and systems that help manage traction when things get sketchy. What's cool is that Toyota didn't overcomplicate it. Everything feels intuitive, like it's there to help you, not confuse you. Whether you're an experienced off-roader or someone just getting into it, the 4Runner feels approachable. Now inside, this is where longtime owners are going to notice the biggest change. The interior finally feels like it's caught up with the rest of the world. Don't get me wrong, the old 4Runner interior was durable and functional, but it definitely felt dated. The 2026 model fixes that in a big way. The cabin still feels rugged, but now it's more comfortable and more refined. The materials feel nicer, the layout is cleaner, and everything is easier to use. The screens are larger and more responsive, but Toyota thankfully kept physical buttons for important things. You don't have to dig through menus just to change basic settings, which is a huge plus. The seating is more supportive, especially on longer drives, and there's more attention to little details like storage and visibility. It still feels like a vehicle designed for real life, road trips, camping gear, muddy boots, but now it's a much nicer place to spend time. Tech-wise, it has everything you'd expect from a modern SUV. Updated infotainment, smartphone connectivity, and driver assist features that help without getting in the way. It's not overly intrusive, and it doesn't feel like the car is constantly nagging you. Again, very on brand for Toyota. Pricing is always a big question with a new generation, And while the 2026 4Runner is expected to cost more than the outgoing model, it doesn't seem like Toyota is trying to price it out of its core audience. You're paying for a more advanced platform, better efficiency, improved interior, and stronger capability overall. When you compare it to other SUVs in this space, especially ones that are loaded up with off-road gear, the 4Runner still feels like a solid value. And that brings us to how it compares to past models. The biggest difference is balance. Older 4Runners were amazing off-road but felt dated and a little rough around the edges on the road. The 2026 model smooths those edges without dulling the blade. It's more comfortable, more efficient, and more modern, but it hasn't lost its soul. This still isn't a soft crossover pretending to be an SUV. It's still body-on-frame, still built for adventure, and still over-engineered in that classic Toyota way. It just happens to be smarter and more refined now. So who is this 4Runner for? Honestly, it's for the same people it's always been for: adventurers, weekend warriors, families who want something that'll last forever, but now it also makes more sense for everyday driving. If you've always loved the idea of a 4Runner but felt the old one was a little too outdated, the 2026 model might be the one that finally wins you over. Toyota didn't try to reinvent the 4Runner. They just made it better in all the ways that actually matter. And that's exactly what fans were hoping for. If you're excited about the new 4Runner, this next generation looks like it's going to be worth the wait.